Awesome.
Awesome.
Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back. Episode number 17.
Episode number 17.
We had an 18, but, some technical difficulties.
We had an 18, you know what I'm saying? Oops.
Oh, shit. He's banging on me. I don't know about that.
See, I'm just familiar with it because I grew up in the hood.
Yes, you did.
Happy Pride Month again. I know we said that last week, but...
Yeah, we did.
I was just talking to Nick. I was like, look... Oh, happy Father's Day.
Oh, yeah, it's a whole month. It's not like a week or a day, right? It's a whole month.
This is the only month gay people exist.
Yeah.
This is the only month gay people exist. Outside of June, there's no such thing as you're either straight or bi.
Yeah, so when Mercury comes into retrograde,
is
when...
it still not in retrograde?
No, it's still in retrograde.
It's still in retrograde?
So that's what I'm saying. When it comes in, that's when people realize whether they're gay or not, right?
Yeah, it shines a light. You know how there was that thing going on with black people where they got their superpowers?
Uh-huh.
It's for gay people. It's exactly with that, but for gay people.
Oh, for gay people. Okay.
I'm surprised you didn't.
So how do you feel with your superpowers?
Superpowers.
Don't try me. The fuck, I'm a step ahead today.
We're already trying to ball shit up. Fucking. You know, it's funny. I thought when the month hit, I kept hearing Juneteenth.
Yeah.
I'm over here thinking Juneteenth is a gay pride day.
Oh, okay.
Like I swear, this is not to be disrespectful because now we know what Juneteenth.
Did you take history class or?
Yeah, but my history teacher, Ms. Rose, shout out to Ms. Rose at Hammy.
Miss who?
Ms. Rose. She was in the music academy.
Okay.
Side of the faculty.
Why the hell were you in music academy?
Because
you sing?
I'm a musician actually. Yeah,
a
former musician. I used to play the electric. I started with the clarinet. But I got kicked out because I didn't do my homework in elementary school. I was in second grade.
Yeah.
Third or second. I didn't do good because life at home was rough. I was like...
That's when you knew you would be a delinquent. Huh?
Yeah, and that's I think when I started realizing I was going to be an artist.
Okay.
Because you got to be broken on the inside to be a really good artist.
Yeah, most definitely. All the crazy ones.
Yeah, I went from clarinet, and then I graduated elementary. And what did I do? Oh, you know what it was? I was like, I don't want to go to Dorsey.
Oh, okay, yeah, because that's your home school.
Correct. It is my home school.
Sense.
Literally on the other side of where I live, it's a different district already. So I told my mom, I was like, look, I have some music experience. We can just be like, oh yeah, he plays an instrument. So
did you use someone's your family someone's papers around their house address or whatever?
Nah, my mom. This is when my mom still loved me. She took me to...
My mom still loved me. God damn.
I know, right? I'm going ham.
Hello?
No. It's all good. It's all good. She took us to the school, and she was like, yo, can we apply? Can we just get him here? Because there was a bus stop literally at the corner of where I live. So it's cool. So she we did that, and I was like, but the only way I can stay...
Wait, a school bus or
the school bus that comes pick you up, yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, the school bus at the corner. Yeah, I remember...
Hamilton had those?
I went to Webster Middle School.
Oh, you're talking about middle school?
Middle school, because this was when I had just gotten into music.
Yeah.
And then I started playing the electric bass there. This is actually the moment where my brain was like, oh shit, there's a ton of music that you have no idea about.
Did you go to Guitar Center every Friday?
No, that was a Toys R Us for me later on in high school. But I was such a shitty musician. I wasn't a poser. I just wasn't good.
Dude, I tried to play an electric guitar, and the first song I wanted to learn was Stairway to Heaven.
Stairway to Heaven.
And I was like, this shit is hard as fuck. I gave up so fast.
Yeah, and...
It was dope, though. I had a great time with it.
Trying
to
learn?
Too noisy.
Too noisy?
You know?
I don't know. I mean, if you're a musician and you're good and you practice or you're making music or something, I guess.
Yeah, if you're good.
Yeah, if you're good.
If you're not, it just sounds like fucking
who plays
trash.
Instruments recreationally? What the fucking nerd? What a fucking nerd. I want to learn to play piano. Shut the fuck up. No, but really,
I would love to learn to play the
yes.
piano.
Yeah,
truthfully.
It's true, yeah.
You could serenade any woman with just your fingers on a piano. When you play a piano and you're good at it, you're basically singing, essentially.
Yeah, you're good at eating pussy if you know how to play the piano, right? What them fingers do.
I feel... Okay.
I don't know.
No. I get what you're saying. I was going to say I feel more like a flute, but I feel you.
I know, right? Because on the clarinet and shit, you'd have to get this... fuck, what are they called? The little pieces of wood? Thin wood?
No, sir. I never played a clarinet. I'm not a nerd.
I had to get these things, and you had to lick them, and then like you used what were they called? Anyways, then in like high school,
So you like to lick wood?
Yeah, I had to lick wood.
You had to lick wood.
I had to lick wood, or the clarinet wouldn't play. And then high school, I had to.
I'm immature as fuck.
No, it's true. It's true. I had to lick a lot of wood, dog.
Yeah.
And I got tired of licking wood. I was like, let me use my fingers.
Okay.
So and then the same shit happened. Hamilton is outside of my district, so I was like, all right, what the fuck do I got to do to join?
Yeah.
All right, so I auditioned for the music academy. I was told like, oh yeah, joining the music academy, you are not granted. You have to take a 7th period.
Right.
And
they got out at what time every day?
4:20.
4:20.
At the time, I still had both of my parents in my life, so it was easier for me to like, deal with the idea that I have to be there till 4:20 and like, fucking be all day at school and shit.
I remember when I would come back, like skating.
Yeah.
At like 4:20, I'd see everybody coming out. I'd see everybody go to the stairs right there on the side to start smoking weed and shit.
Right? Just smoking cigarettes.
I always cracked up. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that is kind of funny that.
And then my senior year, it started getting raided nasty by the cops. Like they were just like there every time, so no one had anywhere to smoke. It was trash.
Because they just don't know how to smoke. I've smoked right there at those steps too before.
Yeah, everybody has.
Everybody does. So
if you didn't, you weren't living life.
Yeah, it was like, like you want to be part of the cool kids crew. You're either skating or smoking or doing both.
Yeah, and there was some fine ass women that hung out there too, so it worked out perfectly.
See, I was such a nerd in high school. I didn't deal with any women.
You weren't into women at that time?
No.
You were still licking wood?
Yeah, I was still licking wood. Yeah, and no.
Happy Pride Month, everyone.
Happy Pride Month, yeah. And fucking, I had to fucking audition because, like, the school was out of my district. It wasn't my home school. I was going to have to go to Dorsey. Wait, okay. Dorsey is a middle and high school?
No, I believe Dorsey is just a high school.
Then why did I say Dorsey earlier? What the fuck was I thinking of?
Maybe it is, but from my belief, it's just a high school. A badass high school. So I fucking learned. And that was like the coolest thing because I became friends with all the white people at school because like there's a lot of musicians, and at Disneyland.
Yeah, at Disneyland.
Yeah,
that was like the area.
I
didn't start hanging out in Disneyland.
Wait, for context, people that don't know, Disneyland was what we called where the white kids hung out.
Yeah,
we called that Disneyland.
I forget why they called it Disneyland. I remember.
I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure it was like because you can get anything you wanted there. Essentially,
that is true. Yes.
Like you wanted drugs, you wanted tickets to a fucking show,
concert,
whatever you
headphones,
wanted.
Some socks.
Deodorant was the black market.
Yeah,
like,
it was the black market. It really was a black market.
It was a black market.
You'd have supervisors literally supervising, like looking out and shit. They're like, all right, I'm gonna just turn a blind eye. Like it was the coolest shit for like a minute. It was like a real life movie.
Yeah.
A Netflix series. That shit was a real life Netflix series.
It really was. I remember the couple of times I walked through. Like one time I saw someone doing like yay off of a fucking book, and I was like, oh shit! Like I'm just walking through. Like I pay attention to shit.
Yeah.
So like I always look around my surroundings and. I probably didn't look weird because I am white. I probably fit in with them, if anything.
You didn't even look out of place.
Yeah.
Remember that guy who used to sell fucking hand rolls, egg rolls?
Yeah.
Dog. Charlie was his name. Charlie.
Was his name Charlie?
Yeah, I shouldn't be saying his name out loud, but
yeah, definitely.
That was Charlie. Yo, Charlie, if you see this, bro, you had some of the best fucking. Actually, you had the best because I know you made him with love, dog. Because you would bust your ass off to get up in the morning and make him every morning.
That's love.
Yeah, that's mad love. Yeah, that shit was cool. Like, you could get. I remember they used to sell these chocolate, weed, edibles for $5.
Wait, the what?
Chocolate weed edibles.
Yeah, like the Kiva bars.
Yeah, they would sell the pieces for like $5 a pop.
Yeah, bro. Oh my god, I took one. People who know me know this story. But I took one and I went into ceramics class and I was faded out of my fucking mind.
Yeah, just blown.
Like gone. And I was trying to shape I think it was a bowl we were doing that day in ceramics. And my teacher just looked at me and was like, Nicholas, you were so happy today, aren't you?
Oh my god.
And I was like,
I hate
huh?
do that. Fucking.
And in my ear, I heard you are so high. So I started just busting up laughing. I was like, yo, what the fuck? Because, like, the art teachers, like, they were all fucking, they were doing them. Yeah. They were living
the ceramics guy, right?
No, it was a woman at the time. Yeah. Because I was a year later than you.
No, but that dude left afterwards?
I believe he did, yeah.
Oh, okay. So this was senior year?
Yeah, this is my senior year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, right? But that was some funny shit.
That was some funny shit. Yeah.
Shout out to you, Miss P. You know how you are.
Miss PP. PP. Yeah, and on top of all that, like, what am I saying? I stopped playing because, like, I got tired of it because I had to learn piano, and then I learned guitar, and then I learned so I learned bass, guitar, and then piano. Because, like, in my head, I'm like, oh, fuck, what am I going to do after high school? Like, I should probably, like, start focusing on something, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, all right, I've been doing music this whole time.
You were thinking that in high school?
Yeah, because...
See, you were ahead of the game.
I know, because...
I wasn't even thinking like that. Like, truthfully, I was such a fucking delinquent that I knew I wasn't going to college, first off. Like, I knew that instantly. I was like, nah, I'm not. I believed I couldn't get into college with my grades.
Same, dude.
But I had like a 2.7, like 2.8. I don't know why I thought I couldn't get into college.
Fuck our stupid fucking counselors. Not that they're stupid and fucking stupid. They're just... Why didn't they make it obvious to us and we're like, yo, it's so easy that if you just take these certain paths. Like, we were so, like, pushed into... I'm not complaining.
Right.
But...
I love my counselor. I thought she was a great woman.
He was cool. Mr. Maxwell, I think was his name.
Oh, you had Maxwell? Okay.
Yeah, Maxwell. That dude was also like it's obvious, like, he went into his line of work to help young people, right? He looked like a regular ass person.
Yeah.
And I remember one time eavesdropping on one of his counseling meetings, and the guy was like, it looks like some regular dude. No hate on him. I'm sure you're doing fine.
Some regular dude.
You got both of your parents in your life or whatever. And he's like, yeah, I have
this guy just pulled out a whole fucking
motorcycle
out of his back car.
Oh, it's one of those foldable ones.
That was dope as shit.
Look at him. Fucking nerd.
No, he living.
Where's he going?
He's gonna go live himself.
Pick up his bitch and that shit.
Anyways.
And no, so I hear him talking to Maxwell like, oh yeah, like, I'm afraid because I don't know what to do after high school. Like, college is scary.
Right.
Like, I have to decide what I want to do the rest of my life already. It's like, in my head, because I had been smoking already, thinking outside the box.
Right.
I was like, who the fuck does he think he is? I'm scared of what's coming after, like, my naive ass.
Right.
Fucking, I'm like, man, college is like this and that. Bro, I had no idea how easy it would have gotten into college. I honestly, had I just decided to do my homework, I could have gone anywhere.
Not even like the thing, not even just to do my homework. Had I decided to apply to colleges, that's all I needed to do.
Just apply.
I would have got into college. Like, I would have made my parents happy.
I would have
all that shit. Yeah. And no, instead I was like, you know what? Instead, like, I can't get into UCLA.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to, like, community college.
Like, they're just immediately going to reject me. I don't have a 3.0 like they're asking.
No hate to anyone
No hate to anybody who busted their ass off to get into the school.
CSUN and Northridge are the same shit. But, like, no hate to anyone who went to, like, those schools. It's just, I'm just shocked that I could have got in with my GPA. Yeah, and my dumb ass didn't even try it.
Exactly. And at this point, state colleges should be free. I mean, like, they're basically, they're almost free. They're relatively cheap compared to...
well, that depends if you live in the state.
Right, the out of state thing is like double. It's like double. Mad. Mental.
I mean, foreigners pay foreigners who go to like SMC, they pay like 50.
Yeah.
And we pay like
40. It's like, I don't know what the unit per unit.
No. I'm talking about going to SMC.
Oh shit.
They pay like 35 to 40 grand.
Okay, see, SMC is fucking them.
Yeah, they're
fucking them, dog.
They are no lube, no Vaseline.
Yeah. Dude, okay, so that's crazy because, like, at this point, it should be free. Like, if I had been told, like, you could go to community college and not look like a fucking dropout. Right. If you just focus and you work your way out. Because, dude, community college at this point is free if you, like, are in a situation where you can't afford it.
Right.
Because it should just be free.
Financial aid.
Yeah, financial aid. There's many programs. I can't remember when I applied for financial aid the first time. Motherfuckers gave me so much money. I was like, I'm supposed to use this at a community college? Like, because like I was smart.
I know people who bought TVs with their financial aid.
Dude, in my head, I was like, if I'm getting this kind of money every semester just to make sure I can go to school, This was under my mother's income.
Yeah.
That's why I was able to get so much, because I was living with her at the time.
Right.
I was just thinking to myself, I'm like, I can't imagine what everyone else around me who does need the money.
Right.
And like is just barely getting by and like really busting their ass off. Right. Because I met a bunch of people in community college who were like, this is just, this is super easy. It's no joke. Like if I can just take a calculus class over the summer,
right.
Like, what is it? 4 week? 3?
5 weeks.
It's a 5 week.
4 to 5.
That's it. That ain't shit. If it's
no, it is. It is shit though. That's the thing. Like it's not
fast, right?
It's because it's fast. Like if you ever taken a summer or winter class, like that workload is ridiculous. So you have to have not only like great discipline, but you got to also be able to understand the concepts. Nobody in their right mind who doesn't love math would tell you take a calculus class over the summer. Yeah, I promise you.
But you have to take it for like requirements to graduate.
Yeah, you do. I know. I still need to get mine done. Look, literally once I get mine done, I can transfer. I'm just being stupid.
Well, look, I ain't even stressing because like it's not like okay, time is of the essence when it comes to finishing some things and not others, but like it just in hindsight, it's like we have these adults who are much older than us telling us like, well, if you don't meet these standards, don't even try. Or they push you to meet those standards, and when you don't meet those standards, I'm calling them standards because it's not because expectations. It depends. What word do you want me to use, guys? Expectations or standards? Like, there are some families who have a standard. Culturally, like some Asian country, like Chinese, Japanese, like they value highly the educational curriculum.
Indeed.
So for me, it's like I was in honors in elementary. I mean, I was in the magnet school. So so I learned a second language. I took up Korean and 안녕하세요 상생민, right? That's like
I don't know what the fuck that means. I don't know why you're looking at me like I should know what that means.
I'm looking at you like as if you know what the fuck. Yeah, so like I learned a little bit of Korean. That's literally all I retained. And I think I was trying to bring this up last time. I think that's why I have such a thing for like Asian people, Asian women.
That's why you have a fetish.
Yeah, because bro, my teacher.
It wasn't the hentai.
She was cute. Like she was cute for an Asian woman. Oh, yeah. See, now I feel like I sound like a racist. She was cute for an Asian woman.
See, that's the problem, racist. Right? It's hard to put cultures and then say things like that. Like when I say like, oh, like she's beautiful for a black woman, someone be like, oh, that's racist as fuck. No, right? And I'm like, woman. Well, I don't know how. Like, I'm attracted to certain people, and others I'm just not. Like, what do you want from me?
Which is normal because I hate when people are like, you can't, you're not allowed to like be judgmental about somebody.
Right, or like people that say like I don't see color.
Or or they're like,
what the fuck does that mean?
Yeah, like I'm fat and I love it. It's like but you should probably just eat a salad, take a jog.
From fit to fat to fit.
From fit to fat to fit.
Boom.
And it's just like all that stuff compiled. It's just like y'all want us to go to college and do all this and that. It's like, no, tell us the fucking truth. Some of us are not gonna make it. Some of us are not cut out to just do that shit. There's like so many options.
Yeah, that's really the reality, right? And
yeah,
I think the one thing that I would say that counselors should be better about is offering different paths rather than just college.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, be like, yo, go to a trade school. Like, what do you like to do with your hands?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Like,
or not what do you like to do with your hands, but do you like to use your hands more than your brain?
Yeah. Let there be some...
That's my biggest regret. That is my biggest regret is that I did not go to a trade school.
Well, technically, it's not too late. And it's one of those things where, like, right now, if you've noticed, like, everywhere is hiring.
Right.
Everywhere. Because nobody wants to go back to what happened prior to the COVID thing. Because in America, your insurance is tied to your job. If you don't have a job, you don't have insurance. And people who don't have insurance are like, well, I have to be more careful, or they're more self-conscious. And you wonder why our government doesn't give us free healthcare. So it's like, at the very least, our educational system should be in a place where it should be encouraging young people to understand that there are multiple paths out of high school. Like, if high school is like because it's free, right? We don't pay for high school, right? Technically,
we don't technically pay for high school, but the homeowners do.
Right, because it comes out of those tax.
Yeah.
Those property taxes.
Yeah.
So, being able to afford that, like, I don't feel like I squandered my time in high school. I just didn't do my homework, right?
I actually feel like I squandered my time in high school because it's not that I didn't just do my homework.
Yeah.
I didn't study for tests. I didn't develop study habits.
Me neither.
That I should have taken advantage of, like, truthfully, because they teach you everything you need to know.
Essentially, they teach you these skills, right?
Yeah, they teach you educational skills to fit their curriculum.
Yeah.
They're not teaching you life skills, like, you know, they don't teach you how to open a bank account.
Yeah, or how to get over a breakup.
I mean, you learn that. That's right. Part of the high school experience.
It's because, like, these teachers, bro, they're humans too. They look at these kids, they're like, damn, I got to teach a room of 45 students. And I have to make sure that every single one of them is, like, on track. It's like, fuck no, dude. Like, these teachers have such a huge responsibility to not just educate.
I mean, we're basically their children for 8 hours a day. That's crazy when you actually think about that.
Yeah, and that's why it bothers me so much that, like, I mean, it bothers me to the point where, like, I am aware of it. Not to the point where I'm going to go out and protest and shit. Like, come on. Like, I'm not an activist.
Mm-hmm.
But it just makes me think about, like, all the teachers who, like, who genuinely start off, like, fresh out of like their training or whatever. They're like, damn, I can't wait to, like, jump into a classroom and, like, influence these young minds and find a way to make sure that they all, like, succeed.
And then they get thrown to the wolves.
Bro. Fucking.
And kids are fucking dicks.
Bro, kids
we eat teachers alive. We did. We're not really children or kids anymore, but I was a dick. As a kid. I can honestly sit back and think, and to some of my teachers, the way that I, like, disrespected you, I'm shocked that you didn't smack the fuck out of me.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm sorry for that disrespect.
I'm sorry.
Like,
well,
100%.
I'm not sorry, but can you ever just think about looking back and looking at yourself in high school, like, checking yourself? You're like, if you could, like, take yourself out, look at yourself in high school, just observe, you'd be like, this is what I was doing? You'd be like, no wonder people thought I was a fucking weirdo. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, maybe you.
No, but that's high school.
Though, but no, I get it, yeah.
Because, like, now when I watch back these videos we do,
right.
And, like, I'm, like, trying to figure out, okay, did I say something right? Did I say something wrong? Am I talking too much about nothing here? And it's just cool because we don't see this, like, we
don't see how we interact.
And, like, when you talk to me and I talk to you, and then you tell me, like, oh, you are acting in some manner,
right?
But I don't see it, and I tell you, like, oh, you're acting in some manner, and you're like, well, I don't see what you mean. Like,
it's perspective.
It gives you perspective when you look back at yourself and you compare yourself to who you were then and not to other people, because it happens a lot with young men. We're gonna segue a little bit into this is just me going off, right? Because I don't know why this is true though, but a lot of young men are having less sex and they're just not dating as much, and like, there's this wave of, like, women, this is me speculating, I think there's this wave of women, like, who have realized, they're like, damn, like, after everything that's happened during COVID, I need to find a way to make sure things are more stable, you know. And then all these men who are, like, who have, like, enough testosterone to go out and be like, oh, yo, like, I find you really attractive, like, we should totally, like.
I don't think that's a testosterone thing.
I said testosterone because I couldn't think of anything else.
Right.
But what do you think?
I think it's just people have been caged. Like, straight up, you know?
You think it just got worse? The Coomers who were, like, who never came out, it just got worse?
Yeah, I mean, first off, I think at this moment in life, though, it is a fact that young men are having less sex than they once did when we were their age, essentially.
Yeah.
Like, it is the easiest period in life to get laid.
At our age.
At our age, even at a younger age.
Well, younger means, like, only, like, 7 years ago.
It's been like 6 or 7 years.
7 years.
But I believe you can get laid any day that you want. It's just a matter of how you go about it, truthfully.
True.
Or maybe not any day. You know what I mean? But, like, It's not as hard as it once was. Why? Like you don't have to talk to a girl for like 2-3 weeks, take her on a date, a couple of dates, and then you finally get laid. It's so much easier because like women are exploring their body more and they're more open to their sexuality and their needs.
That's what happens when
Yeah, go on.
I was just gonna say that's what happens when they go to college.
I mean, it is what happens when they go to college. Yeah, for sure.
There are all these nerds in high school that didn't do what we did, like fucking waste our time.
Yeah,
doing other shit.
And look at them now; they're excelling in life.
No, you know what? That's not it.
It's kind of funny.
They're not excelling in life, bro. They go to college.
Right.
They have that experience where they're like, oh, let's fucking rod every weekend. I'm like, oh yeah, I got a final to crank through, dog. Like, oh yeah, let me get.
You feel like they get
some Adderall, like
easier way or what? Like, what do you? No,
it's because it's like it's just growing. It's growing up. Like, it's just this idea that you're not asking for permission to do things anymore. Like, you're out kicking it with your buddies in college. Like, if you're in a dorm, you're with other people. Like, all kinds of shit are going on. Like, you're doing drugs. You're talking to your homies who are also in the same like kind of fucking. Surrounding, you're all in the same boat. Some of your friends are super rich. Some of your friends are super poor. I remember when I went up to San Francisco and I was kicking it around those college campuses. I just see I see people who are like there. They're like, damn, like this is a great stepping stone in my life, a milestone. Shit is going great. I am cruising. Right. But the moment any kind of suffering hits, they like lose themselves, and that's why I think I disagree that they're striving because once college is over, like you said, these counselors and teachers, they ain't teaching a shit about life.
See, but this is my problem, right? And this is something I've told a lot of people that are either in like their last year of university or the last 2 years of their university. I've told them that when you're at that point, that's when you should really, whatever you're majoring in, that's when you should start looking for internships and building your connections. Yeah. Because once you're done with school, so long as you did a good job building yourself, your network, you'll find a job anywhere you want. Then you don't have a problem excelling. Like legit, you do not have a problem.
Yeah. I feel
you get you get a corporate job and then they'll pay you to train. They'll send you out of town for a couple of months just to train. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like that's when you really find out how much of an adult that you are at that point.
Yeah.
Internships and just reaching milestones. Yeah. In your career is a part of life, but I think in our circumstance, I feel like we may have grown up too fast and we didn't take advantage of those, the friendships or like the connections that could have been made.
You know what?
Because what you were saying is like when kids go to college, they have the freedom to do whatever they want. Yeah. I feel like, and this is no knock to my parents because they disciplined me as best as they could, but I was also a piece of shit, right? But I also feel like I created my own freedom at a very young age. So when I got to like 18, 19, I was like, I've already been through all this shit. The only thing I haven't really done is like a cross-country trip. But other than that, like I've been to Europe. You know what I mean? Yeah, I've done certain drugs.
And these experiences.
I've lived life.
And these experiences like...
But I didn't network enough. Yeah, that's my point.
And I was going to say, like, these experiences come far and few between because they're not everybody, right? Right. Because you'll meet somebody who's at college literally just barely getting by. Yeah. Right. And it low-key, I feel for them because college should be the stepping stone. Like you said, if you network, you talk to people, you join a club, you find time, right, to excel at one thing. And then you don't just give up. You course correct when you feel like maybe there is something that you aren't good at. Like if it's too challenging, you're never going to get good. You might not be able, you might just give up because you aren't doing it properly.
Yeah. I feel like that's really, at least for me, that's my biggest insecurity is that when I'm like into the thick of it, essentially, right? I'm afraid of failure. So before I can breach through that wall, I will stop doing it.
A lot of the times.
But I feel like this podcast has really helped me because, like I'm not afraid to fail with this. Like,
yeah, same.
It's not that I think I'm going to like succeed. It's nothing like that. It's just more along the lines that I feel like this is something that I can actually breach through the wall with and it can teach me how to do that with other things in my life as well.
Yeah, and you know what, bro? This actually has taught me so much, because what we're doing is just this amalgamation of everything I've wanted to do, but due to just what life is, because you don't live your life constantly happy. You have to understand that there is suffering, and like in the face of that suffering and how you handle that, I think it really helps build your character, and it defines you really, because you can make a huge mistake, right? And learn from it.
Yeah.
And really learn from it. Like this is not, I'm not like trying to be like what is it? It was a hyperbole? No, it's like a hypothetical. No, I forget the name. Anyways, what I'm trying to be serious, as in like you can really take away something when a loved one, or you realize you didn't get into the college that you wanted, or you flunked out of college. Like maybe it's not you giving up. Maybe it's this course correction. And like, I think for a lot of young
I like
men,
that.
Yeah,
I like that course correction. Yeah.
And you go to YouTube, you type in how to this for men. There's hundreds of videos. How to get into shape, how to get a girl, what not to say, how to do pickup lines, how to be more charismatic.
When it comes to videos like how to anything, and I might be biased on this, but I always choose the older person. Because I feel like they do have the wisdom, and they have like course correct enough in their life.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. Right. But to the point where you can actually like relate to them if you're in some shit, or if you feel like, okay, you know, this person went through this and they made this out of it. Like, why can't I do the same? Yeah. But then people also would say, well, it's really dangerous to compare yourself with others.
Yeah, that's why I said earlier, compare yourself to who you were before and not to others. Like you're like, I didn't have I had this discipline in high school, but I just wasn't doing it. But now I see that I have all these options, and me maybe not going to college is not necessarily giving up. I'm just course correcting, and it's maybe a little bit down the road. You know, I'm not just tossing it to the side. Like, I'll be honest, like,
do you think you will go back to school?
You know, I
That's
think
what
so.
I was
I do
wondering.
think so. Yeah, I was gonna say, dude, like I think I want to go back and get an English degree.
That's awesome,
bro. It low key gets me really excited, because
I know I can see it in your eyes.
Bro, like
it's good though,
bro, because an English degree will get you laid. I remember we talked about this.
Is that the only reason?
Look, no, but that's
Californication over here.
That's the funny. That's true. That dude is an actually really smart dude. David Duchovny has like multiple English degrees. Yeah. And that motherfucker is literally a sex addict. He's literally a sex addict. And that's actually really funny, because I totally forgot about that. And I was totally being
It's a great fucking show.
Yeah. I think to myself, I kind of want to go back and get an English degree, because.
But why?
We need to be sharp. We need to be sharp with our words. We need to be more educated, because if you know how to be sharp and you know how to talk to people, that's really helpful. Because if you can talk, it's not to talk to be like
business savvy.
Yeah, but to be witty, right? I was listening to somebody talk about this last night. I was like, there's this line where comedy, right, really helps the flow of like a conversation.
Yeah, so most definitely.
When you're witty,
if you're funny, you can get any woman you want.
And that comes in part with how well versed you are in the English language. Because if you're talking in a conversation and we're just a bunch of people talking, and you're just like waiting for the right moment where you don't want to make a joke that goes over the edge, you want to make it as close as possible to the edge, because that makes you witty, that makes you sound not smart but intelligent, right? Because
and people will gravitate towards that.
Yeah, because if you can speak and you know how to if like a lot of the time I have all these thoughts in my head and I want to explain them to somebody.
Yeah, you got a big ass head.
Exactly. And I don't know how I fit these headphones on. And you want to explain something to someone, but you don't know how to say it. In your mind, it sounds so crystal clear.
So you can't articulate the words, is what you mean?
Not just articulate, but if you sharpen your vocabulary, you sharpen your mind as we get older, because it is true, our brains do slowly decline after a certain point. We still create new brain cells up into our late 80s.
Why don't you just read a thesaurus?
I've always heard that. It's like, just read the dictionary, read a
yeah,
thesaurus.
like
I don't know.
But see, so I get what you mean, but I don't think you need to go back to school for that. I just think you need to read books, not like articles, like actual books
of substance.
Yeah. 100%.
I don't disagree with you. Like I got a list of books I want to read, but I saw
this this person I follow on Instagram. I went to high school with her.
Yeah.
I saw today that she put up her goal for books to read this year.
Yeah.
She's read 36 out of 50. Mm-hmm. And I was like, that's awesome. Like, we're halfway through the fucking year.
She's more than halfway through that.
And she's already more than halfway through that. And I'm more than likely, I mean, I haven't spoken to her in years, but that woman is brilliant. Like, right now she's in Japan.
Mm-hmm. Oh, she can't even leave the country.
Living there.
Yeah, she can't leave. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy, though.
Yeah, dude.
It's impressive.
It is impressive. Like, being witty, like, that is, like, so... Like, people love witty people because you can talk.
Yes and no.
Yes and no. Well,
I think it depends on the crowd.
Well, that's why, like, it's like, make sure you're talking not over the edge. You want to make sure you're funny enough where you're right on the edge, and then you see people react. Like, if you really observe, they're like, oh shit, that was real clever, that was really funny, that was witty, like, that was intelligent, because the context of what everyone else is talking about, like, you pushed it to the limit, to the edge, and you didn't make an offensive fucking joke. You were just like XX, and then they're like, oh, this is because of Y, and they're like, that's funny. Because Columbia University is where I hear they have a good English program.
Trying to be the next Barack.
Are you familiar with Jocko Willink?
Who?
Jocko Willink.
Negative.
Former Navy SEAL fucking guy. You should check him out. I don't really listen to him. I'm just familiar with him because he's a badass dude. And he went back to Columbia.
Why don't you just join the military? Like, you love Goggins, you like this military dude.
I don't want to talk shit about Goggins, but Goggins just seems like
he's a fucking sociopath.
He's a fucking dumb. He's not a dumbass, but bro, like, come on. He's like, I saw this video.
He's fucked up in the head for sure.
He like tied his hands up and his feet up. He's like, guys, I have this big fear of water, but I'm gonna do this. Jumps in and starts fucking, gyrating so you can stay afloat. I'm like, motherfucker, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are you doing? Like, I don't care.
Look, it's basically the same shot I said earlier, right? Like, he's afraid of his fears, so he has to push through them. And the only way to do that is to really live through them, essentially. And what better way to live through the water than to literally have to figure out how to survive within the water when you don't have the necessary body functions to do it.
You mean just because you don't have your arms?
Like,
and legs?
his mobility.
Well, he was still like doing the fishtail thing, and he was doing fine. But I was just like,
of course he was doing fine. The fuck, that's still mobility. He just doesn't have the mobility that you would usually have in that scenario. That's what it's more of.
Because I'm just like, okay, so your survival instincts are kicking in, dog. You're a human. Like, I think I could do the same. Like, bro,
I don't think you could do the same.
Look,
I don't think you could do the same. I don't think I could do the same. That's how I know.
I think you could. Like, if your brain just like activates this fucking adrenaline, and
your brain does activate the adrenaline for sure.
Your survival instincts, your genes, they activate, and they're like, motherfucker, you're gonna die.
It's fight or flight.
Legs. That's why I think it's like crazy. I don't think that's why I think Goggins is a fucking idiot sometimes. Not because he's fighting his fears, but you're right. He's a little crazy. He's for
sure crazy.
He's a little nut. Because why doesn't he apply that to something else in his life? Why does it just have to be about working out and breaking?
To be able to pass every single special operations in the United States military, and I believe he even did the UK military. To be able to pass and to be considered as a candidate for that, you have to be fucking sick in the mind. People who do BUDS, which is the Navy SEALs.
What does it stand for? Do you remember? Basic underwater diving and SEAL training.
Yeah.
Basic underwater diving and SEAL training. Yeah.
For the people that do BUDS, like, they're excited that they passed the one time, and this dude went back and did it like 5 times. Like, he's fucked up in the head.
Yeah, that's what pisses me off. Like, David Goggins, bro.
But it's impressive at the same time. Like as a male, right, or even as a female, as a physical specimen, like that is really fucking impressive. If you think about, if he would have been able to see, I feel like his mindset applies to like when he was in his past too, where he's like, if I would have been able to do this at this age, do you know what I could have accomplished type shit? You know what I mean? So now he's like, I need to make up for it and just keep pushing myself and pushing myself and pushing myself. Like the fact that he's able to physically withstand all of that shit, I don't even think LeBron James, right? Like probably one of the
top athletes of the world right now.
Best physical specimen we've ever seen in our lifetime. Has barely ever been injured. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I don't even think LeBron James could finish Buds, like legitimately.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Do you understand how wild that shit is?
Yeah, it's because, bro, those people need to be trained into situations where like life and death are around every corner. And I think Goggins is just like the only point Goggins proves to me is that the human body is capable of more than what people think it is. Because when you're a child, you're nothing but potential. Right, you're nothing but potential as a child. Now, understandably so, you're thinking to yourself, well, not every kid starts at the same starting line.
Indeed.
Well, okay, cool. It's true because like the goal as a society is that we want to make sure that the starting line lines up with everyone's feet.
Right.
But after you start the race, some of y'all are gonna fall behind, not because you aren't fast enough.
You're just unlucky.
Yeah, it could be luck and circumstances. Whatever the suffering is, because your parents might die, your best friend might pass away, your dog, you
will go through a traumatic experience that will shape you. It doesn't have to be traumatic. Way.
I don't want to use.
I mean, if you're using death, it's almost always noted as a traumatic experience.
See, but we don't really talk a lot about our own mortality.
Right.
Because what keeps you alive every day?
Shit. I mean, for me personally, I think it's the fact that, you know, I am like a one in a, I don't know, is it like a million sperm or some shit
right
like that?
Because there's no right answer.
There is no answer, but this is what I'm saying. Like for me personally, I feel like it's because I am the one sperm that got to the egg, and there's got to be a reason to that. Like,
I don't think there is a reason.
I think there. What? There's a million
RNG
other motherfuckers
God was
with
like,
me.
Let's go. Rolled the dice, and you landed. Nah, but look, I don't disagree with
a million other motherfuckers with you as well, and you're the one who was born.
That's
like,
crazy, dog.
You think
but then
there's no reason to that?
But then you're born. Okay, now you're born.
Okay.
Well, why, as a child, you don't think about death?
As a child, no.
Why is it that as we get older, this looming idea of our own mortality just becomes more and more, just becomes heavier as we get older?
Because we experience the reality of life.
And I think that,
like, we see people die.
And that's what I think people who try to avoid suffering at all costs are not normal people. Because I think you have to go through suffering. I'm calling it suffering because that's the universal word used across all these religious texts, right? Because in Buddha, they all believe life is suffering. In Christianity, Jesus suffered for us, right? And then there's other. I'm not sure in the Judaic, religion, what suffering is encapsulated as, but we suffer, right? And it should be, and it's a part of us. But can you imagine avoiding every time something bad's about to happen?
Oh wait, no, there is.
Every time you're about to suffer,
there is something in the Judaic. I think that's why you have not. Is it? Am I thinking of Hanukkah? The 13 like
I'm not really,
sins and shit.
I'm not really educated on that, but
I've I think Passover is where you
the idea of
talk
suffering?
about the idea of suffering, or like what the Jews went through.
There you go. Yeah, they're
like pre-Holocaust type shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's
but no, you're right. I mean, human history is filled with suffering for sure.
Like, just unspeakable atrocities. Like, you know, we don't think about it, and that's why I make fun of Gen Z, because they're gonna be they're gonna be the weakest generation, in my opinion, the weakest, because there is no. I'm not saying nobody knows how to change. I literally think Gen Z doesn't know how to change a light bulb, right?
What?
Whatever. Like these motherfuckers.
They definitely know how to change a light bulb.
After they how to it on YouTube, you know what I mean? They're like, oh, do I have to wait? Do I have to wear a rubber glove? Unscrewing it because they might think they're gonna get shocked because it's connected to an.
I mean, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing.
I think that's what we learn through trial and error.
True. Yeah. If they get electrocuted and die, well.
Yeah. They may have to YouTube everything essentially, right? But also, there will be people outside of the spectrum of
motherfuckers are YouTubing how to have sex, how to put a condom on, how to.
Yeah, but that's been around forever though.
Well, yeah.
I don't know about how to have sex, but how to put on a condom. Like I remember watching like the banana shit. I remember doing that in sex ed as well. You know what I mean?
We were talking about this last night. It's like,
and even then, when my first time having sex, I was still like. And I had watched the banana shit. I had done it like physically, right, like in sex ed, but I was still like confused as fuck. I was like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I was stupid. I'm not gonna lie. I was real stupid.
I paid attention in sex ed because I'm a sexy kid. I'm like a horny kid, and like
I'm a sexy kid.
I need to know like what I'm getting myself into.
Yeah,
I think that's a lot. I think for me, I've done that a lot when I do things like I'll research something. I'll do as much as I can about it.
Yeah, no, my problem was that I put the condom on the wrong way, you know, and backwards essentially. And is it backwards?
Well, you said the wrong way.
Well, yeah, you know what I mean. Like when
you put
so when I try to like roll it down, when I try to roll it down, like it got like it was hard, and I knew I was like something's wrong. It shouldn't be like that.
It's a simple just.
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah, so that's what we were talking about yesterday. It's like, bro, you gotta educate yourself. Go get an English degree. Because like get sharper, read some books that actually
get a degree that matters. Respectfully,
matters, yes, but I think like there's because look, even if I go back and get this degree,
right?
It's like you said, at that like you can bust your ass off, network, and like you don't have to worry about a job because like your homies are like, oh yeah, like I know you're good, I know you do your job, you're doing your thing, like come on over. Oh, you finished your English degree at Columbia, like that's awesome, like. I mean, that must mean your work ethic. It must be in some place, and you talk to them, and then the vocabulary, your sharpness, your ability to convey ideas very well. I think to me, it just so fucking hot, dog. Like females, bro, like who are just like, bro. Kevin Samuels, that motherfucker is a high value man. I've just been seeing a bunch of because there's so many young men who are just looking at. All these like how to get a girl, how to approach them, what should I be doing, like how do I be a high value target for these women, and then how do I make sure that my woman who considers herself high value, like what are her intentions, and like am I even in her league? It's like like most dudes are.
See, this is the thing, right? Is at some point, and this is the most respectful way I could put it.
There you know.
But at some point, we gave women the power. Like,
it was.
You've watched a bunch of Patrice O'Neal clips. You know what I'm referring to.
Yeah. All right.
At this point, it's just like you have to make the woman that you're into understand that you are the prize, not that she's the prize. Because once she believes she's the prize, she has all of the power to do whatever the fuck she desires.
And then that dynamic falls apart because dudes start to get insecure.
Yep.
Because they're like, oh shit, I'm not doing enough to keep my girl around.
Yep.
And then they get bogged up with all this idea that.
Then you start to play with your mind.
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm just not good enough. And then that creates relationship problems because you start to get jealous about every single thing she does. Or you start to create a scenario in your mind where you're like, I can't trust this person. But it's like, why?
Yeah. It's young men like, like we'll probably maybe next week's episode we'll just kind of start off depending on whatever's going on in the world. Because like maybe young men, or if there's any women who listen to our podcast, I'm sure there are.
Yeah.
Like, what kind of perspective do you have after like everything that's happened with the coronavirus? Like, the pandemic has kind of told people like you should be more aware of your health, right? For those people who do pay attention, it's like, yo, like, was this your wake up call to go take a jog? Like maybe in the future your immune system, it does become weaker. There's so many resources to understand how to bolster our immune system, how to live longer, and a lot of these tips are things that we've known forever, but regular ass people like you and I, well, for most other regular ass people who work all the time, they don't have time to sit down and read and listen to 4 or 5 different things about one topic just to make sure that they understand what they're listening to.
Right.
So I bet females are just like, oh, all these dudes out here, they're literally all just thirsty. Like they're all just trying to smash after everything that's happened in the pandemic. Females are all the rumors.
I mean, look, like, and to that, you know, they may not be wrong about that. Mm-hmm. Like legitimately, you may not be wrong. But it's also, who to say, like, you know, why you judging?
Yeah, I know, right? Why you judging?
Like, why would you judge someone like that? You know, it's a bodily function. And the benefits to sex outweigh heavily the benefits to just getting a nut.
I think people underestimate the power of sex. Like, people, we're literally here. The reason we're not tearing buildings down and choking each other out is because people have good sex. I think that's the moral of the story. It's like if you're not having good post-vax sex, I heard that people who have sex that don't have the vaccine, I heard that shit is pretty good too. Still, some dirty unvaxxed sex.
Oh, that's what you mean. Yeah.
Dirty unvaxxed sex.
Well,
like, just like that before that mRNA changed you, the vaccine.
Uh-huh.
I'm just going off.
Stupid.
I'm just going off. No, yeah, like. Just fucking.
Yeah.
Just fucking.
All right.
I mean, like, guys, thank you for
tuning in once again.
We're like now kind of like just uploading whenever the fuck we want, but you gotta miss us a little bit, right? There's gotta be some scarcity, some value. Like if you tune in every week and then you don't see it, does that little thing in your brain in the back of your head just go?
Where have they been?
They're like, oh fuck, where is it?
And then when you see it pop up, you get excited.
Yeah, you do get excited. Oh, the little dopamine rush.
They put something new out, and then to a certain extent, it's like, oh well, maybe they changed something about the show. Yeah. We did not. But
there's nothing in the background. Everything fell off.
There's nothing in the background.
Literally everything fell off, guys.
You might see a chair here this time.
He's sitting in a different chair now.
And this is where all the goodies come from.
Yeah, the set.
But yeah,
and it's like, oh god, it's so funny because like all the time I think about it, it's like I bet people are like in their head, they're like, oh my god, they broke up or like they're fighting or some shit. They're like, oh my god, are you guys still doing it? Like. And then people ask me, they're like, oh, are you gonna be like a permanent part of the show? I'm like, yeah, this dude, like the thinking out loud is. Yeah, we're both thinking out loud, but it's not the same if he's not here. Like maybe we'll have someone else around or something, but
yeah, we might introduce a couple of different people from time to time.
Some of my favorite podcasts, they usually have like a guest on or something just to banter back and forth. It's all Gucci with that. Like I'm into that shit too. And yeah, like we are trying to talk about stuff that as we get older, like these kinds of conversations will become less and less important. We're like seasons, right? We're gonna have seasons of shit that we talk about. Like
that's a great way to put it, actually.
Yeah, like right now, you're technically in a relationship. I am not.
I am in a relationship.
So my perspective of things as a middle 20-year-old person,
right?
Like there's this like turbulent like idea that like I'm out there trying to find somebody or whatever, or like trying to find myself or a job. I like that. That idea of like going on an adventure.
You're in the thick of it.
I'm in the thick of it, brah.
Into the thick of it.
Into the thick of it.
Into the thick of it.
What is
that? All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. As always, we appreciate you if you got this far.
Yeah.
If you didn't, really you can go fuck yourself.
Hey, I saw somebody. I saw somebody unsubscribed and disliked our last couple videos. Who are you?
No.
Who are you?
Hater.
Thank you though, because that means you're actually interacting. Thank you for disliking it, because that means somebody out there is like, I didn't like this. I like that. Thank you, because if everyone was just like, damn, you guys have a great show, I'd be like, God damn it, our show must be trash.
Right.
Nobody's criticized. Nobody's telling us like, yo, like this.
Because you wouldn't feel like that's too truthful at that point.
Yeah, and again, we got to be genuine with you guys. Like, this doesn't work if I'm pretending to be someone I'm not. Like, if the way you see me here, I know Nick could probably vouch for this. Like, he's like, yeah, the moment the camera turns off, this motherfucker doesn't shut up.
Yeah, he's pretty much the same. Yeah. I am too, though.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's like, that's just, and it's fine. Like, maybe for those of you who watch and shit from the beginning, you'll have your own opinions and be like, oh, they look like they're doing fine or some shit or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I probably don't look as healthy as I once did, but I'm getting back to my eating.
Juju.
My Juju. Oh yeah, look at my Jujutsu Kaisen shirt.
Mad.
If you've seen this, this is a great anime. Keep watching it.
Not the best though, but thank you so much everybody for watching. We'll catch you guys next time.
Peace.